It's really a shame. I was one time in a Starbucks, and they had all these pastries that they were going to throw away. And a homeless person came in and asked if he could take some of the stuff they were throwing away, but they couldn't.
We know we throw away a lot. About 40% of all the food that is actually put in the ground never ever makes it into our bodies.
The current problem is so large that we need an entire industry focused on reducing, recovering, and reharvesting nutrients.
I looked at it and went, how can I be a solution in there to take that unused food and all those valuable nutrients and do something with it? I knew I could do that, and I knew it would take technology. So NETZRO is an integrated solution to the idea of unused food.
My name is Paul Rudd. I engineered and designed this. It's an infrared heat source that's very similar to the energy you'd receive from the sun. Nothing gets wasted.
So we have two particular types of equipment. One is a infrared drying equipment that takes nutrients out of the unused food and then also recover water.
So if we can take that nutrient source and at minimum create a soil amendment that will enrich our soil, fantastic. If we can take it and create products that we can use to benefit the health of animals, another fantastic use. And ideally, all of these unused nutrients, we could use them for human health.
I'm Jeff McClure, the Director of Operations for Unused Brewing here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We've opened in the last year and a half, and the challenges are great, and the process has been amazing. The universal problem in the brewing process is what do we do with the spent grain? We as a brewery and most breweries are only using 20 or 25% of the grain that's still there for the brewing process. So we dump a bunch of it into a dumpster.
When we do these runs, we go from that about 80% water content grain, and once we dry it, we get it around 10% moisture. And then we have that, and it's able to be stored for essentially an infinite amount of time. And we take some of that grain, and we've actually milled some of it. Once you have it milled into a flour, it becomes much more versatile. It creates a dense flour that's really, really good for things such as waffles and scones and pretzels. But the wonderful part about the flour is that in the brewing process, they've stripped the sugars from it, but they haven't taken any of the protein, fiber, or fat content. So when you mill it into a flour, essentially what you have is higher in fiber, higher in protein, but lower in sugar. So you basically have a lower carb flour that allows you to make dense foods, but they don't actually have the dense nutritional composition that those foods would normally have.
It's exciting for me because I like people who are out challenging themselves, doing things to create a new product or make a better product. And this is a huge potential market that hasn't been worked on really all that hard for the last 30 years when small batch brewing has really started to kick in. So in a lot of ways, we're 30 years behind. So it's fun to partner with someone who's so interested in challenging the market.
There's a lot of egg patties sold in this country. Before that is a lot of eggshells.
Wright County has the largest amount of egg-laying hens, about over 15 million. That is the largest in the state of Iowa. There's a lot of waste that comes from broken eggshells. We need to find a way to capture those eggshells so they would not go to landfill and try and find a value-added nutrient for other types of customers.
We look at it as partnering with them. We help them clean up what's going on, and then we help the economics of what they're trying to do. If you look at the food chain and you look at what happens with food from farming to fork and then beyond fork, there are jobs in every one of those things that we're going to create.
Rather than just farm to fork, I like to think of it as farm to fork to farm.
I like to look at it as a biological revolution.
I'd like to be able to leave the earth in a better state than when I started my career so that my grandchildren can have a nice place to live.
The revolution has to come from inside each and every one of us.